Hello, assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. What's going on? What's up? What's up, y'all? yes, yes, indeed. How you feeling? How you living? Welcome to another Read Aloud Sunday with me, Miss Seisha. I hope you guys are doing fantastic, spectacular, superb. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. This is the community, the space where we are all about literacy, all about having our read alouds in a community where you guys are learning together, listening. We got it's multi-generational, intergenerational. So we have our young, we have our wise, we have our middle age, and everybody is just connecting. And we are connecting through reading aloud, and it is super dope. Very simple, very easy. All right. I am Miss Seisha, and I'm the founder and executive director of ABC Read, a nonprofit organization that I founded over 10 years ago with the mission to develop and nurture a culture of literacy in our Black and underserved communities, Black and brown, here and throughout the greater Cleveland area. All right. Shout out Cleveland. Woo woo. All right. So, and I am doing these weekly Sunday read alouds, and they are followed by a Kahoot game. All right. So in order to play that, of course, you're going to have your device where you put in the PIN number when I put it up on the screen. So are you guys ready? If you're ready, you here. This is your first time here. Hey, what's up, Sydney? Yes, I see you. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Ooh, I love when my regulars is coming. Regulars. Okay. So let me get the book. Bam! Yes. Ruth and the Green Book. Yes, I've read this book before. And there's nothing wrong with rereading a story. All right. In fact, when you reread, that's where you are actually getting the information that you need. Because, you first read something, you're trying to, especially if it's not something you're familiar with, you're trying to, get acclimated to the information. You're trying to, take it all in. But when you reread it, that's when you're really able to digest what the story is all about. I see people are coming in. Yes, come on in, y'all. All right, look at that. I love it. Make sure you guys share too, by the way. All right. So Ruth and the Green Book. And this was written by Calvin Alexander Ramsey with Gwen Strauss. All right. So that means it was a co-authored book. All right. And it was illustrated by Floyd Cooper. And the Green Book, you guys are about to go take a walk down history lane and learn about what our ancestors did in order to not only stay safe when they were traveling in places and spaces that was more than, wasn't about just welcoming. They were hostile. Okay. Hey, what's up? My co-author, I gotta be sure real quick. Oh my God. Yeah. My co-author in the house of our book, Healed, Empowered, Resilient. Her. Shout out to my girl, Mrs. Jennifer Tyler Washington. All right. So you guys make sure you grab your copy, okay? Get your copy from Amazon. Here we go. All right. So we're about to learn about this Green Book. Y'all ready? Yeah. Say, come on, Miss Seisha's turn to read. Okay, here we go, y'all. I love Floyd Cooper's illustrations, the late Floyd Cooper, by the way. Oh, it just still hurts my heart to hear about the brother's loss. All right, here we go. It was a big day at our house when Daddy drove up in our very own automobile, a 1952 Buick. It is the most beautiful color. Daddy calls it sea mist green. He bought it for his new job. But first, we planned to go on a trip to visit Grandma in Alabama. I was so excited to travel across the country. I packed my own bag, and Mama said I could take Brown Bear with me for company, even though I'm almost too old for him. As we drove out of Chicago, It felt funny to see the neighborhood disappear, and then the streets, and then the buildings. I love all the green grass and hills and trees. Daddy told lots of stories about when he was a boy in Alabama. He made us laugh. Eventually, we stopped and had a picnic lunch that Mama had packed. She had been cooking all week to get ready for the trip. After driving for a long time, we stopped at a service station to fill up on gas. As Daddy was paying the station attendant, Mama had asked for the key to the restroom. The man said we couldn't use the restrooms because they were for whites only. Mama and I had to go in the woods. I was embarrassed. But Mama said the people who should be ashamed of themselves were those service station owners. I was tired when Daddy stopped the automobile. I asked Mama where we were, and she said we were going to spend the night in a real hotel. We watched Daddy talking to the man behind the desk. Daddy was smiling and pointed to us, but the man shook his head and turned his back. Daddy came back out and slammed the car door. He never slammed the door before, so I knew he was mad. I wondered what happened, but I knew somehow it wasn't a good time to ask him. Mama gave me a look that said, "Ruth, just keep quiet." So that's what I did. We kept on driving through the night. Mama took a turn so Daddy could sleep. I fell asleep with Brown Bear as my pillow. We must have pulled off the road in the middle of the night because when I woke in the morning, we were all curled up in the car. I was stiff and hungry. Mama gave us cold biscuits and jam for breakfast. She said we should sing to cheer ourselves up. We sang a lot that day. We crossed the country. We had picnics at roadside stops for lunch and dinner because all the restaurants had signs in the windows that said we couldn't eat there. It seemed like there were white-only signs everywhere outside of our Chicago neighborhood. I felt homesick, and I hugged Brown Bear close all day. When we crossed into Tennessee, Daddy said his friend Eddie lived close by. He was sure we could sleep there. Eddie was so happy to see us. He gave me a big hug and told me that he knew me when I was real little. His wife Alice cooked us a warm meal, and I ate too much. Daddy and Eddie used to play music in a band before they went off and fought in the war. They talked about how they traveled a lot back then and how they always had a hard time finding places to rest and eat. Daddy shook his head and said he had hoped that the war had changed things, but now he could see he was wrong. That night, I went to sleep to sounds of Daddy and Eddie playing music together. Brown Bear and I were happy to sleep in a real bed with a real pillow. The next day, as we loaded the car, I heard Eddie talking quietly to Mama and Daddy. Eddie warned them about what was ahead. Someone called Jim Crow. I heard Daddy tell them that however bad it was so far, it was only going to get worse for us. Maybe even dangerous as we went farther south. Then Eddie saw me listening and he picked me up and told me not to worry. He said that I should look out for SO service stations along the road because the people there would be nice to us. In the car, I asked Daddy who Jim Crow was, and he explained that Jim Crow wasn't a who. It was a bunch of ugly laws forbidding blacks and whites from mixing in any way. I asked, why don't they want our business? Wasn't our money just the same? It hurt my feelings to be so unwelcome. But Mama sighed and reminded me that my job that day was to look for an Esso station. I spotted an Esso station near the Georgia border and sang out for Daddy to stop. Daddy filled the car up and asked the man if he knew where we could sleep for the night. The man showed us a pamphlet called the Negro Motorist Green Book. He explained this book was started by a postman, Mr. Victor H. Green, to help Black people who were traveling. It lists places in lots of states where we would be welcome to sleep, eat, shop, get a haircut, and all kinds of other information besides. Right away, Daddy bought our very own copy for 75 cents. Mama read about a place nearby called a tourist home where we could stay for the last night of our trip. Daddy called ahead, and sure enough, the lady told us to come right away. Then Mama gave me the green book and said I was in charge of keeping it. I couldn't stop reading it. All those places and all those states where we could go and not worry about being turned away. We reached the tourist home in the early evening. Mrs. Melody, the owner, gave us a big smile when she opened the door. It was like coming home. And she wouldn't even let Daddy pay her. She said she welcomed Negro travelers because it was right to help each other out. I'm going to do the same one day. The next morning, I hated to say goodbye to Mrs. Melody, but Daddy said we could be at Grandma's house that evening. That made me happy to get going again. It wasn't so easy though. Our automobile broke down about midday in the middle of nowhere. People drove right past. I felt empty in the pit of my stomach. I hugged Brown Bear and wished we were already at Grandma's house. But Mama said not to worry. We could figure this out. She unfolded our map and told me the names of nearby towns. She said, Ruth, look in the green book and see if you can find a place in one of these towns that will fix our car. And I did. Daddy gave me a big hug and then he walked into town to find a garage that would help us. By the time we got the car fixed, it was too late to reach Grandma's house that day. So I looked in the green book and picked out an inn nearby that said they welcomed Negro travelers. It was a big house with lots of rooms. Most of the people there were businessmen traveling for their jobs. They each carried a green book. They said they could never do their jobs without it. We met a salesman named Jason who has traveled to all the states of the Union for his job. He told such funny stories. Mama laughed so hard she had tears rolling down her face. For the first time since we left home, we were really happy. At the inn, I met a little boy who was traveling with his mother. It was the first time he had ever left home, and I could just tell he was scared. thought of Mrs. Melody, Victor Green, Eddie, and all the other people who had helped us. And then I decided to give Brown Bear to the boy. I told him that Brown Bear was a good traveler. I'm too old for Brown Bear now, and the little boy needed him more than I do. Then I told his mother about the Green Book and showed her our copy. That night, before I went to sleep, I thought about our trip. It was not what I had expected. Traveling could be scary, that's for sure. It made me sad that some people were mean to Negroes. But it helped to know that good Black people all over the country have pitched in to help each other. It felt like I was a part of one big family. Plus, tomorrow, I would finally see Grandma and tell her what a great Green Book guide I had been. The end. Yes, indeed. And what I love about this book, you guys check this out. Y'all see the back, right? So that is information about the Green Book, and that's one of the how one of the copies look on the front cover right there. And actually, our organization, ABC Read, we were able to buy copies, and we would give out to the community when we give books away. And in fact, at one of our reading events, we had an activity where I had the young people come up with different ideas of businesses that they would like to have to start. And what they did after that, they would draw on their cards the type of business. So they wanted to, veterinarian, or they wanted to own a grocery store, or, dry cleaners. And then we compiled them together so they can make their very own Green Book too. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. And now it's time for Kahoot. Yes. All right. Go ahead, Sydney. Woo. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed that story. Those of you who are regulars, you probably heard me read it before. One of my favorite books to read, y'all. And this is also, again, a great way for you guys to have that conversation with your young children, or this is great dinner family conversation. Some of you who are here, maybe you are familiar with the Green Book. Maybe you have, maybe yourself, you come from the era where you remember the Green Book, or your parents having a copy of the Green Book. If that's the case, I would love for you to put it in the chat, share with us, and share that with your kids and grandkids, nieces and nephews. All right, so let's grow. All right, here we go. I think this is it here. Yep, this is it. So I get to share, and I'm about to start. And then I will share the screen so you guys can see. All right, here we go. You playing, Musa? Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up the Kahoot. Woo! What's up, Nico? How you living? How you feeling? Oh, I love it, y'all. We got 8 people in here, so hopefully I can see CJ. Woo, woo. What's up? What's up? So we got our 2 in. I'm putting the pen in now for you, so that you can just put your name. Okay. All right, Sydney. Let's get it. OB. Okay. Let's roll. Let me get a couple of swigs of my water while I wait. That's good. Musa the GOAT. Come on, y'all. We got 5. I see 8 people watching. I need to see 8 names up in here, y'all. Come on, y'all. Yes. I love the avatars. I love it. I'll give it about maybe another minute, and then after that, I'm just going to go ahead and click start. And if somebody does come late, remember the pin will be on the screen. So if you want to come on and join, just type in the pin. All right. Oh, you mostly. Go back. Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. Yep. All right. We wait. What? We forgot the. Wait, I'm sorry. The not play. Oh, okay. Okay. Y'all didn't hear the Tasha J. Y'all didn't hear the read aloud. Is that what it was? Okay. Well, I'm about to get ready. Go ahead and start. Hopefully, you guys can play. And I'm gonna tell you now. There's been I know one sister, she was playing and she didn't join the Kahoot. Oh, okay. That's okay. That's all right. Well, hopefully, you know what? Yeah, it would be nice if you go ahead. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I got you. Cool. That's what's up. So I'm gonna go ahead and click start now. Let's see. Going back. All right. Woo. And this is 15 questions, I believe. So where and who was Ruth and her family going to visit? So what place, and then who are they going to visit? Okay, all right. So you're half of y'all, all right. So yes, they were going to Alabama. All right, and going to y'all both got the grandma part right, but it was Alabama. All right. Let's see. Let's check out. Let's see who was able to remember that answer. Let's see. All right. Okay, there we go. CJ coming in. CJ don't be playing. CJ got them quick fingers. Bang, bang. And then you got Nico second, Princess Pretty. You got Sydney and Musa the Goat. Don't worry. Plenty of questions you guys are going to be able to answer, okay, and get correct. Trust and believe. Let's grow. All right. What city did Ruth's family live in? You know it started with a C. Right? You know it started with a C. That's right. It was the Chi. Chicago, y'all. Chi-town, that Windy City. That's right. Yep. No, what definitely wasn't Cleveland and wasn't Chattanooga. That's all right, though. That's all right. Let's see who was able to go ahead and get that. Here we go. All right. Good, CJ, Nico, Princess Pretty, Obi, and Sydney. You are going to get this next one. I believe it. And that's okay. Even if you don't get an answer, like I always tell everybody, we are learning together. All right. This is a family up in here. All right. So let me go ahead and share. All right. This is number 3. Why couldn't Ruth and her mama use the bathroom at the gas station? Mm-hmm. Y'all got that one. I knew that. That's right. Y'all, I knew. I said, they're going to get this one. Here we go. Yes. All right. Woo. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. On it. Hopefully Sydney was able to get back in. It looks like she maybe kind of booted out. Sometimes that happens. I know when people are playing, they say like they, wind up getting booted out or whatever. So hopefully whoever gets booted out, we'll be able to come right back in. What can we infer as to why Ruth's daddy was mad, all right? He came back to the car after talking to the man. Based off of the information of the story, okay? Even though it was not explicitly said, what did it seem like what was happening as to why Dad was mad? That's right. They weren't allowed to stay there because they were black. All right. So the man, turned them away. The ugly, ugly rules, huh? Just crazy. Let's see. All right, let me show this. Yay. All right. Woo. And look at Nico, got that streak of 4. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are doing fantastic. Okay. Let's see. All right. What signs did Ruth say they saw all throughout the South while they were traveling? Okay, that's right. That's right. No, it was whites only, right? They were saying for only white people to come here and they can only come and eat at the restaurant there or whatever. Just nonsense, straight nonsense. Woo! CJ with the high streak. Nico, OB, Princess Pretty, Booster the Goat. Let's grow, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. Where was Ruth's family finally able to stay for the first time since they left Chicago? Now, where were they able to stay for the first time? And you really had to be paying attention in the story, right? They did stay a couple places, but what was the first place they stayed? Okay. Yeah, see, I did that. I was very intentional with that question. I said, I want to see if they remember, right? Because she did stay. They stayed at one of the inns, right? But the first place was her father's friend's house, right? Eddie. Okay, so that was their first place. Woo! Look at it, y'all. Y'all are on it. Go ahead, y'all. All right. Y'all just make my heart smile. All right, so we like halfway through. What were those ugly laws called that kept black and whites separated? And more than just separated, for real, that just totally, denigrated black people. That's right. Jim Crow. Yep, that's what they were called. Jim Crow. You hear people say Jim Crow and Jane Crow, but Jim Crow was the name that you definitely would hear. All right, that's what they were called. Yes. All right, good job, y'all. Excellent work. Ooh, y'all are just answering these questions. Getting what job did Ruth have that was going to be very helpful to her family? Remember that job she first they gave her first. She actually had 2 jobs after that. All right, but that job that she had, what did she have to look for? Okay, so she had to look for the Esso station. So that was the job she had. Remember when it first started, they said your job is to look for an Esso station, which was like a gas station, in those different places in the South, and that's where they sold the what? The Green Book. All right. Woo, look at CJ, OB. Okay. Yes. Nico. Princess Pretty, Moose the Goat. And look at CJ with that 8 correct in a row, that streak. Come on through now. Come through. Y'all doing the do. Okay, what did Ruth's daddy buy that was very helpful for Black people when they were traveling? I think we got a clue right there on the screen, right? Yes, indeed. The Green Book, right? No, not the Black Book. It was about Black people. The book was about Black businesses and Black places, right? But it was called the Green Book, right? That's okay though. That's all right. Again, we are here to learn. That's why I don't, I'm always celebrating, even if you don't get the answer correct, because even when you get it incorrect, you're going to see the correct answer, right? That's what it's about. Very good, y'all. I love it, man. This is what I envision our community doing. Okay, a lot. All right, this is what we need. What information was in this book that was very helpful for Black people? Hey, you already know. That's right. Okay, eat, sleep, shop. I couldn't put everything there. Get your hair done, right? Get your car fixed. All right. All them different things for our folk. Okay. Shoot. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Woo! Fire. Y'all doing it. All right, let's see. Go to next. All right. We in the last stretch, y'all. Last stretch. Why was Ruth so happy about reading the Green Book? Why was she so happy? Jamming to that Kahoot music. I'll be like, hey. All right. Yes, she was happy to find places that made Black people feel welcome. Remember, she was very happy about that because that was the problem, right? She was tired of feeling ignored, like she didn't exist, her and her family. She was sick of that crap. And as a child, children can feel that energy, right? They know when they don't feel welcome. And she's like, hold up, so now she knew what it felt like when she was being treated, her and her family was being treated well. So that just made her just swoon with joy and love, right? Yay, come here, Princess Pretty. Back with the answer streak of 3. You go, girl. Do it. Okay, so let's see. Go to the next one. All right. Hey, what is another word to describe the emptiness Ruth felt in her stomach? What's another word to describe that emptiness? Okay, so actually it was sad. Okay, so remember, feeling empty, that's like, you feel like, oh my God, like you just feel just alone and hurt. Almost, not depression, but sad, a sad feeling, So that's what it was. Now, frustrated, I put frustrated there as an option, obviously, but I just wanted you guys to see like the difference, right? So when you're talking about someone feeling empty, that's more closer to a sadness, okay? So, because I've noticed you guys, a lot of y'all put frustrated. Let's see who put, so that was Princess Pretty, okay. So yeah, even though, yes, there was some frustration, but again, the emptiness was more connected to a sad feeling. Why did Ruth's mama have tears rolling down her face? Let's see if you guys remember that. Uh-oh. Okay. Right. So two of you, you got it correct. Right. Remember, she was laughing so hard. Somebody had, I think it was a story somebody was telling. And that's when Ruth had noticed. She said, "This is the happiest that they have been." She saw her mama enjoying herself finally, right? She was tired of her mama, looking salty and her dad being mad, slamming doors. She like, man, I want my family to smile. We on a trip. Who want to go traveling? And you got to be salty and mad. You just sad, mad, depressed. Nobody want to deal with that. And you traveling. So I was definitely happy in that part of the book. I was like, go ahead, Ruth, go ahead. And go ahead to y'all. Look at y'all. Come on, y'all. Yes. All right, we down our last two. We got 14 and 15. What made Ruth decide to give her brown bear to the little boy she met at the inn? Right, the inn is like a place to stay, kind of like almost like a hotelish, but it was like a house though. Okay, kind of like today would be like an Airbnb kind of vibe, right? All right, let's see here. Yay! All right, that's right. I'm glad everybody got that one. That's right. And you see what happens when you have. That's why I love this book too, because you made that connect. It's the connection that the authors made between the young and the wise. So Ruth was learning how to treat people from her elders. All these different people that looked like her. She was learning how to treat others. Right? That's why I really, really do like this story. Go ahead, CJOB. Look at Princess Pretty. She said, "Oh yeah." She said, "I'm rising up." Nico, Moose of the Goat. All right, so here we go. Last one. 15 out of 15. What was the messages that the author was sending in this story? There were other themes as well. I just wanted to kind of bring home those major themes. Right? Okay, so definitely 4, right? The authors wanted to drive home that racism was ugly. I mean, full stop. Okay. And the fact that Black people should support each other, right? That's why that Green Book was created by Victor H. Green, that postman. Okay, that just shows the ingenuitive thinking of Black people, understanding like when we need something, problem solvers. Okay, very, very good messages in this book. All right, I'm proud of everybody. Y'all did it. Go ahead, Princess Pretty, with your number 3, OB, number 2. And woo! Go, DJ. Go, DJ. Go, English. Go, Nico. Go, go. Hey, y'all did it. Woo! I love it. Yes, y'all. Y'all are so cool. I just love it. I love when we geek out like this, right? We are reading together, we answer questions together, man, talking about the story, learning Black history. You're welcome, my co-author. You are so welcome. Thank you. You guys, for joining. This is phenomenal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For those of you who are new, this is what our Sundays look like here, okay? In the internet streets, okay? We're doing some things, all right? We're helping to combat illiteracy, all right? We're helping to bring community together to cultivate a culture of literacy, foster that within our communities, okay? And as you guys can see, this is great, man. Yeah, good game. Yeah, thank you, CJ, for that. Thank you. That's right. We celebrate everybody, right? So, again, I thank you, everybody. Thank everybody so much. And let's see, I was trying to, how do I, I see how to do it. I'm like, well, how do I do that? All right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. So thank you again for joining us. And I will see you guys again next week, inshallah, God willing. And if you do, just do me a favor. If you are able to, we are always accepting donations through our Cash App as well as through Zelle, abcreadfamily@gmail.com. And this helps to pay for the platform as well as providing books and our reading experiences for the community that we serve. You guys are doing a great service. I thank you so much. All right, y'all, take care. Keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day.